Longhorns. But somebody that is running wild in the NFL is one Max Crosby. Max Crosby, who was all intent to go to Baltimore with a trade with the Raiders and the Ravens. Well, he was there probably 48 hours, and then the news comes out that the Ravens have backed out of the trade with Max Crosby because of a medical condition that they are kind of concerned about. But Tom Pelissero talked about how other GMs have a lot of questions after that news came out yesterday.
At this point, I would say this, the reaction from other people within the NFL that I am getting is predominantly about how the Ravens pulled the rug out, regardless of what their reasoning was. This just does not happen. It has happened on multiple other occasions in the past on much smaller trades or agreements involving the Ravens. However, when you're talking about trading 2 first-round picks, this is not an unknown issue with Max Crosby. Everyone knew he had a knee injury. Everyone knew he finished on injured reserve. Everyone knew, based on Ian's reporting, that he had a meniscus surgery that was actually not just a trim, but a meniscus repair that has a longer-term type of a timeline. But that did not stop several teams from offering a first-round pick and more as part of a trade offer. It did not stop the Ravens from offering 2 first-round picks. This is not a situation where you put in a bid in an online auction, and then if you don't like the item, you return it via Amazon. This is a trade involving a superstar player in the NFL. Clearly, they came to the conclusion that there was something they were not comfortable with. And again, it does bear mentioning. 32 teams, 32 doctors, 32 degrees of risk tolerance. What one team might be willing to accept, whether it's in the draft process, a free agent signing, a trade, is something that another team might say, we're simply not going to go there. That's why every year, we're going through the pre-draft process right now, you'll hear about players having medical flags. There might be 31 teams who say, we won't pass this guy. We won't put a uniform on him. But if one team is willing to do it, then that player is going to play in the NFL. Max Crosby is a known commodity with a known injury. Clearly, something happened. He was in Baltimore today, posting on social media, obviously went through a medical process, after which the Ravens, for one reason or another, and again, to your point, we have not heard from the Ravens to this point, the Ravens decided we are not following through with this trade. It does not happen often in the NFL. It definitely does not happen at this level, this type of a blockbuster trade. Max Crosby, once again, is on the Raiders. He is right back on the trade block. Other teams, again, I will emphasize this, the Cowboys would remain interested. They were the runner-up to the Ravens. Well, other teams that I'm calling, I'm missing the calls right now from other teams trying to figure out what's going on because all the other pass rushers have gotten agreements. To the Ravens now, who didn't get a pass rusher, try to flip one of those players that agreed to a deal someplace else because now they need another pass rusher for that defense. There are so many different tentacles to this. We never see this happen. It is going to be a free agency frenzy that has now gone into a physical frenzy. How about that, Patrick Claybon, on a Tuesday night?
Yeah, man.
I think buyer's remorse. I think they realize, you know what, man? Like, 2 first-round draft picks, we might have stretched ourselves. How can we get out of this? Let's get the doctors involved. He already has a knee injury.
That everybody knows about.
But like everybody knew that he had a knee injury.
Yes.
They're acting like they discovered something that
exactly.
It's ridiculous. This is buyer's remorse. They realized that the only way that they were going to get those draft picks back is if they did this. And they pulled the card, Harge. You just heard them say, like, you never hear at this level something like this being done. And I think that they should be looked at and maybe even stripped of one of those draft picks because of how unfair this is to Max Crosby.
Yeah, this is not a good look.
And the league.